First pitch has been pushed back to 7:30. Join us on SoCalCollegeSports.com and FutureEventsGroup.com on Facebook Live and YouTube. If you want to watch us on the big screen, you can stream us up at 4K on your set-top box. If you have a YouTube app, SoCal College Sports 1 is the channel. Live baseball here tonight from San Bernardino and San Manuel Stadium. Stay tuned.
Bell Stadium in San Bernardino, California for SoCalCollegeSports.com's continuing coverage of the Best of the West tournament. Tonight, the Inland Valley Pirates will take on the OC Buccaneers. And as we get started with E.J. Andrews digging in, let me introduce my partner and good friend Dennis Ackerman joining us once again on the broadcast. And Dennis, hello. Thanks so much for sitting in once again. And if it's possible, in day 2 of an inaugural tournament, I think we already have the matchup we've been waiting for here between Inland Valley and Orange County.
Well, Jeff, good evening to you. I'm very happy to be back here once again here this evening on a very warm evening. A good one here between the Bucks and the Pirates. Andrews leading things off. Mason McGarvey on the mound for the Bucks.
It'll be E.J. Andrews, Tyrese Turner, and Hayden Winters as they go with the same lineup on back-to-back nights. Do the Pirates some changes in the field, but the lineup itself stays the same. And it's 2 balls and a strike now on Andrews. And there you get a look at Andrews, the junior, standing in and fouling that one away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andrews in the leadoff spot yesterday was 0 for 3 in the victory over the San Diego Waves. The 2-2 from McGarvey. And a swing and a miss, and Andrews goes down on strikes to get things started.
McGarvey in his 2 years at Cal Baptist appeared in 29 games, an 0-4 record, a 6.91 ERA.
And that'll bring up Tyrese Turner, who was nothing less than a terror on the base paths last night against the Waves. A perfect night at the plate, 2 for 2 with a walk, 3 stolen bases. What an outing for that young man as he digs in from the right against McGarvey, and that one back to the backstop.
What's the old adage? Ricky Henderson used to get on the bases and wreak havoc. I think Turner did that last night.
It did have a certain Ricky feel to it at times. And McGarvey ready. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And again, high in the zone. 2 balls, no strikes. Turner laying off a couple of pitches well out of the zone. But when you have the kind of speed that Turner does, it couples so well with patience at the plate and a good eye, and that's what Turner brings to the plate. Any way that he can get on base is such a boon for his team. Here's the 2-0 and a big swing and foul back to the screen. Trying to set the defense for you for the Bucks, who come in somewhat undermanned. 2 wins on the weekend already, but fewer players on the Bucks bench, and that could have an impact on how this game moves forward. We've already received word that later in the ball game it will be a Pirate pitcher who will actually pitch for a brief period of time against the Pirates themselves as the Bucks try to control pitch count with a much smaller pitching staff. So we will apprise you of that when it happens. Here's the 2-2 to Turner. Hot shot and into right field for a base hit. This is going to be extra bases for Turner. Rounding first and digging for second. He'll make it easily. He's thinking about third, and he's going to go for it, and he will make it easily. Are they going to wave him home? They will. Here comes Turner. He is going to come around and score easily. So some trouble in the right field corner. And Turner turns on the Jets.
Yeah, Chad Castillo and right just did not play that ball well. It got beyond him. And then you mentioned Turner's speed. I mean, he just was flying out of the box, and there wasn't even a play at the plate.
Well, I'm not exactly sure how that will ultimately be scored, as Castillo did struggle in the right field corner, but what a shot of the speed of Turner around the base paths. And meanwhile, a strike on Hayden Winters, no balls and a strike. I started to say we'll try to get the defense for you for the Bucks. Moving forward here, McGarvey ready. And while we're talking about the speed of Turner on the previous play, let's not leave out the fact that was a well-hit ball up the right field line, getting past first baseman Cameron Rapetti. and into the corner. So another very good at bat for Tyrese Turner. It's a ball and a strike now on Winters. McGarvey kicks and delivers. Inside, and that might have gotten a piece of Winters, and it did. So it is going to go down as an error for Turner. So
they got to credit Turner with a double and a two-base error? Is that?
That's what I would think. He's going to get a run scored, but he doesn't drive himself in. So Winters at first after the hit by pitch. And that will bring up Jackson Lyon, who moves over to right field tonight, but remains in the cleanup spot. You see Lyon, the junior at Cal State Fullerton, and that's a familiar resume here for the Ivy Pirates. A lot of Fullerton players up and down this roster. That one off the glove of Shell and back to the screen, and Winters will easily take second. 2 balls and no strikes now on Lyon. It's Porter Pittman in left field, Damon Keith in center, Chad Castillo in right for the Bucks.
It's 330 down the left field and right field lines, and then 410 to straightaway center.
Again, the fastball high for McGarvey. Lyon way out in front, 3 balls and no strikes. 0 for 1 yesterday with a couple of walks in the win over the Waves. And the fastball misses high again, so Lyon another walk. And that'll bring Shell out to the mound to talk to McGarvey.
Well, you wonder if McGarvey's maybe a little rattled after Turner circled the bases to make it 1-0. He hits Winters, and then he walks Lyon.
Well, I would imagine in this type of situation, it's very difficult not to run the risk of coming out and overthrowing a little bit if you're a pitcher. You're excited, no doubt, even furthered by the fact that the players have to be excited just to be back out and playing. In general, but you also know it's going to be a short stint. It's hard to settle in. You know, a guy like McGarvey is going to get an inning, maybe 2 innings here, and you're bound to be somewhat keyed up. And it looks like right now, McGarvey, as much as anything, is just overthrowing a bit on the fastball. That'll bring up Guangarena. First pitch swinging, lifted out into left field, twisting toward the line. It's going to drop in.
It's going to be a foul ball.
Is it foul? Okay, right near the line. Boy, that was close. But it's just a long foul ball for Guangarena.
Let's face it, with McGarvey, all it's going to take is one pitch. His best friend is a double play ball, and he can get out of this with minimal damage.
Indeed, 1 on the ground. Guangarena, 1 for 3 yesterday, had a triple and scored a run. Guangarena, one of the heavily recruited backstops coming out of high school in the state of California, indeed in the nation. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Shell, but both runners still advance.
Well, they were both going on the pitch, and I don't know if Shell would have had a play on either one of them.
Yeah, he got on top of that pretty quickly, but indeed, I think, good point, Dennis, both players already breaking. And that's more heads-up base running by the Pirates as well. So now 2 runners in scoring position, still only 1 out, no 1-1 count on Guangarena. Fastball just outside. 2 balls and a strike on Guangarena, who gets the night off in the field. He's down as the designated hitter. In the game tonight, it'll be Connor Burns behind the plate for the Pirates. McGarvey ready. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Goes to the fastball and gets the inside corner. Count evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Guangarena hit 261 as a freshman, then dropped off to 109 this season. So that's a huge fall off. It's about a 152-point differential on his batting average.
And then the situation this season, I should say, halted midway. Maybe the break good for him, though, as that one is fouled off.
Summer League, perhaps a opportunity for him to regain his confidence at the plate and carry that over to hopefully we'll be playing in 2021.
Two balls, two strikes on Juan Garena. Here's the pitch. Juan Garena started but held up. Count goes full. And there is a good look at Mason McGarvey, the left-hander. Full count on Juan Garena. And again, that one all the way back to the backstop. Another run's going to score as Juan Garena heads down to first with a walk.
You got to believe that's a wild pitch.
And if it is, it's already the third of the inning for Mason McGarvey.
We're going to roll it over already.
Meanwhile, and yeah, let's very quickly as we get ready to go to break here at the end of half an inning, update everybody that we've been informed that for those who might be wondering, the rollovers here, not a question of time as we speculated might be the case last night, but it's more about controlling pitch count for the pitchers who are participating in the tournament here over the next several weeks. So, half an inning in the books, 2-0 the lead for the IV Pirates. You're watching the Best of the West tournament on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Tiedemann from the belt. Tiedemann looks in. Here's the payoff pitch. Got it. Just finished up his sophomore season.
Thomas was hitless in the first game for the Waves. He was 0 for 4.
He's on his way to Hawaii Hilo this fall. 2 on Campbell. Looking to make it 8. Bottom of the first inning in the 2020 inaugural Best of the West tournament here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. The OC Bucks coming to the plate, already trailing 2-0, and they will work against right-hander Julian Aguiar on the mound to start the game for the Pirates, and he will deal to Austin Shell in the first pitch. A fastball outside, ball 1.
Yep, ready?
And Shell is back on the Bucks after appearing yesterday for the Bucks, and then last night briefly for the Pirates in the order. Big swing and a miss. And a ball and a strike on Shell. The leadoff man at catcher. You don't see that too often, Dennis. How many leadoff men at catcher can we come up with? Not too many. I got a couple. Fastball outside, 2 balls and a strike.
I'm probably dating myself. I can think of the Twins' Butch Weiniger back in the 70s.
That's a good call. I thought John Stearns maybe for the Mets.
Oh, that's a good one, the Mets.
Yeah, and then Craig Biggio.
Oh,
he has eventually moved to second base, but
all right, between the two of us, we're coming up with some.
All right, Jason Kendall, I think.
Yes, I think Kendall did lead off for the Pirates at some point.
2 balls, 2 strikes. All right, we were prepared for that one. And Shell ready. And here's the 2-2 from Aguiar. Again, tries the outside corner. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Matt Attino in left field tonight for the Pirates. E.J. Andrews in center. Jackson Lyon in right. Sean McLeod at third base, Tyrese Turner at short, DeAndre Smith at second, and Hayden Winters at first. For the Pirates, here is the payoff pitch. Shell takes that one outside and a leadoff walk. So Shell aboard. Should finish up Aguiar on the mound and Connor Burns behind the plate just to complete the Pirate defense. And the batter will be Michael Marsh. As if we haven't had a fun enough weekend. Marsh moves from number 9 to number 19 as they switch up the uniforms. There is Aguiar. Here's the pitch. High and away. A ball and no strikes. Aguiar finishing up an impressive run at El Camino College over the last couple of seasons. And misses again with the fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. This season, Aguiar, in a shortened season, a 5-0 record at El Camino with an ERA of 2.47 for the Warriors. And the fastball high again. So much as was the case in the top of the inning, another pitcher struggling with control as Aguiar falls behind 3 balls and no strikes to Marsh. Harrison Spahn waiting on deck for the Bucks. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And Marsh walks on 4 pitches. 2 on, nobody out. And now Connor Burns is going to come out and talk things over with Aguiar. And here is Harrison Spahn. And Dennis, as I've been watching some of the games here in the first couple days while we've been getting ready for our games at night, I've caught a couple of at-bats for Spahn, and he has been very impressive, hitting the ball hard nearly every trip to the plate so far this weekend.
He has. He's got a triple and a double to his credit through the first 2 games, but he's not getting cheated on his swings. You know, this season he was hitting .283 for Cal Baptist. Hadn't homered, knocked in 9 runs, but his sophomore year, he went deep 5 times. So he definitely has some pop in that bat.
Yeah, he was a fascinating case as I was looking over the numbers because last year with the 5 home runs, there was quite a precipitous drop in his batting average, and you wonder if perhaps Spahn made more of a conscious decision to try and shorten up because the average is back up this season, but without the same power numbers, but ultimately maybe a better hitter. Hitting for the higher average. The ball in there for a strike. So 2 on, nobody out. An opportunity here for Spahn to get the Bucks back into it. They dug themselves a 2-0 hole in the top of the first. 0-1 pitch. High and outside again. Well, this is already a little bit of news to see a Pirate pitcher struggling in any way, shape, or form after the dominating performance up and down the pitching staff last night against the Waves that saw, to my scorebook, the Pirate pitchers end with 15 strikeouts in the game.
Yeah, they were
fouled
dealing.
Away. A ball and 2 strikes now
Lambert,
on Spahn.
Tiedemann was so impressive. He was the second pitcher of the night for the Pirates, and we were both came away thoroughly impressed with him, future San Diego State Aztec.
And who knows from there.
Exactly.
And followed by Matt Sanchez, who also impressed us in a 2-inning stint. But really, everybody up and down pitched well and really stifled the Waves. This one popped up on the infield, and it's juggled and dropped, but
should be an infield fly rule.
Yeah, player forced out anyway. Now they throw it around, and do they end up getting 2? We'll have to wait and see what the call is.
I think they did. It should be an infield fly rule, and the batter should be out, and the runners, unless Shell left on his own fruition.
Well, I'll tell you, as I watched the games this weekend, and you have had the call of every game this weekend, I have yet to see a player who's not struggling with high pop-ups, with high fly balls, maybe something about the configuration of the ballpark here. But it's yet another example of a player really struggling, and you wonder if it's something about the position of the sun relative to the pop-ups of the fly balls. But this is nothing new. The players are really struggling with balls hit high in the air on every team. On the ground to short, Turner up with it. He'll go the short way to retire the side. So Aguiar puts a couple on base, but wriggles out of the jam. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left on base. We are through one complete, and the Pirates leading the Bucks 2-0 here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Down to 2, final play of the third quarter. Blitz coming, but Tari is swallowed up. Meanwhile, Smith lost the handle. Palella for 3. It's good! And Gusto now will rise up from the 5-meter line and score!
That's a terrific ball, and it's up. See if he does. Shot is up.
No!
Baker hits! But it's on the ball.
No!
Top! Kenny Moore! Wow!
21, and now it's McCauley who can finish it out. And he gets the ace.
Wilson, here comes the rush.
Wilson on the reception, another touchdown for Tariq Wilson.
Pass centered up, great read by Unke, outside Cruz, tools it.
Looking for Laurent down the near side, who's got it inside the 5. And that's victory number 48 without a loss. And
OTC, your champion in 2019.
And to it. The end of a tough year, San Diego State, once again, the Hawks soaring over all they survey.
We have a new champ. It's Fullerton College and the Hornets here in 2019.
new pitcher for the Bucks, Brett Finnell, will start the second inning, and he will work to Matt Attino, Caden Connor, and DeAndre Smith for the Pirates. Finnell, a junior right-hander, pitching just down the road at Cal Baptist, and starts Attino off with a strike. There's a look at Matt Attino. Got the call at third base last night, moves out to left field tonight.
You got
and
it.
evened
Thank
up
you.
a ball and a strike on Attino. Finnell pumps and fires and misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. Finishing off the Buck defense, Harrison Spahn at third, J.J. Cruz at short, Michael Marsh, the second baseman, Cameron Rapetti at first, Austin Shell behind the plate, and Finnell on the mound. Fastball in there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Finnell. Or I should say on Attino. Finnell, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Good repertoire, and he gets Attino on strikes. So good beginning for Finnell as he fans Attino, and now he'll work to Caden Connor. The book on Finnell is a fastball in the range of about 86 to 89. Good slow curve, along with a slider and a changeup. He misses outside to Connor. 1 ball, no strikes. And there is Caden Connor. finishing up his sophomore year at Cal State Fullerton. Fennell misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes on Connor. Connor in as the extra hitter in the lineup tonight for the Pirates. 2-0 pitch way outside.
Connor was able to appear in 9 games this year. Hit just 143, but did manage 5 walks.
3 balls and a strike on Connor. Fennell ready. That one tails away, and it's a walk for Connor. And the Pirates have a base runner with 1 down here in the second. Well, there you go, right on cue. You got to like it when they make it look good, Dennis.
I did not plan that.
I'll tell you, your prescience. So Connor at first, and that'll bring up DeAndre Smith. Smith back in the lineup at second base. Off-speed pitch misses high. Smith, another player for the Inland Valley Pirates, playing his ball at USC.
Yeah, with Smith and Turner, USC's got a feeling pretty good about themselves.
Looking
I would
good
think.
up the middle.
Yeah, definitely.
Defensively in the next time to come here. 2 balls and no strikes on Smith. Connor away from first. Smith goes after the high fastball, comes up empty. 2 balls and a strike.
Smith just graduated from San Dimas High School in San Dimas.
And Smith with a big day at the plate last night against the Waves with 2 hits in 3 at-bats and 2 runs batted in. High and inside, 3 balls and a strike now on DeAndre Smith. Fennell from the belt, and Smith fouls that one away. Outfield back a step or 2 for Smith, showing a little more respect for the power after Smith had a triple last night. And the fastball misses, and back-to-back walks. Pirates have a couple of base runners. Still only 1 out in the second. And Connor Burns coming to the plate. Well, 4 walks and a hit batsman so far for Buck pitchers through an inning and a third. First pitch to Burns misses away. A ball and no strikes on Burns. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, center field, moving back. It's Keith. Keith to the track, looks up, it's off the wall. 1 run will score. Keith gets it back in, and they will hold the runner at third. It's a double for Burns. Well, only the deepest part of the ballpark keeps that one in the yard at all.
I'm a little surprised that Smith did not come around to score also, because Keith, he was going back on it, but never really appeared like he was going to be able to track it down.
Yeah, Burns put a charge into that one. And it's still going for the Pirates, who lead it 3-0 and have runners at second and third. Still only 1 out, and Sean McLeod coming to the plate. First pitch in there for a strike, and Fennell could definitely use a strikeout here.
3, 2, 1,
there you get a look at McLeod playing ball at Long Beach State. Off the hands, but into right field for a base hit. 1 run will score. Burns takes a big turn at third, but he's going to hold up there, and it's an RBI single for McLeod. Good piece of hitting as they try to go inside, but McLeod with the quick bat takes it the other way.
Like you said, nice job. Just didn't try to do too much with the pitch, just went with it. Ends up with an RBI single to extend it to a 4-0 lead now.
Pirates making a statement here in the Best of the West tournament. Bucks had wins on the first 2 days. And these two teams will be here for the duration of the tournament. So we'll see this matchup again. But right now, game 1, it's all Pirates so far. Fennell misses just off the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes to count on Josh Scheck. Burns at third, McLeod at first. Still only 1 out. Well, it started auspiciously enough for Fennell as he got the strikeout on Matt Attino, but then walks to Connor and Smith, a double by Burns and a single for McLeod. 2 more on the board, and the Pirates lead at 4-0. And the inning comes to a close, but not before the Pirates put 2 on the board, 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. Couple left on base. We're through 1.5. The Pirates with the 4-0 lead over the Bucks. It's the inaugural Best of the West tournament on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the second inning, it'll be Bajani, Damon Keith, and J.J. Cruz against Julian Aguiar, who will work into his second inning. Pirates have grabbed the quick 4-0 lead. Aguiar's first pitch to Bajani swung on and hit on the right side, twisting out of play. Bajani in as the extra hitter tonight for the Bucks, after seeing some time behind the plate earlier in the weekend.
Bajani's used to playing in this heat at UNLV.
Maybe the one player who's ready for it. When Teo's low and away, a ball and a strike on Bajani. Aguiar delivers. High chopper to third. McLeod on a big hop. In time to retire Bajani for out number 1. And that'll bring up Damon Keith.
Ready, 3, take 3. Give me the graphic.
And Keith, another one playing ball just down the road at Cal Baptist, and he's having himself a pretty big weekend so far.
He's been up to the plate 7 times, and he's reached safely 7 times. He has a double, 4 singles, and he has walked twice. So he has certainly not been impacted by the layoff.
Or it's just what he needed. I guess we'll never really know for sure. But either way, swinging a hot bat so far. Lays off the fastball.
Jeff, what's the old saying? That baseball probably looks like a beach ball right now
Yep.
to him.
Here's the 1-1 from Aguiar.
He was hitting .273 at Cal Baptist. He had 1 home run, 9 runs batted in this season.
Aguiar into the wind. Fly ball down the right field line, twisting near the line and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Damon Keith.
Corey, brighten up a little bit.
2-2 pitch. Keith called out on strikes. Get a look at this one, and you can't place it a whole lot better at the knees, outside corner. And Aguiar becomes the first pitcher to retire Keith on the weekend.
I think Keith would have been up there protecting, just anything close hacking at.
Meanwhile, after something of a shaky start, Aguiar has settled down nicely. He's set down 4 in a row and goes to work on J.J. Cruz with a strike. There you get a look at Cruz, the sophomore for Cal State Fullerton. Aguiar ready, the 0-1 pitch. In the hole, Turner ranging right, the long throw, not in time to get Cruz hustling down the line. Well, good range for Tyrese Turner, but he wasn't going to get J.J. Cruz, who's on with an infield hit.
But you're right, nice job by Turner just getting to that ball deep in the hole.
Yep, absolutely. And there you see Cruz getting down the line and able to leg that one out. So the Bucks have a base runner with 2 down. Runner at first, and that'll bring up Cameron Rapetti. Aguiar into the wind, and Rapetti started but held up. 1 ball and no strikes. Porter Pittman would be next for the Bucks if Rapetti can keep it alive here in the bottom of the second. And again, Aguiar working inside to a right-handed hitter, as Rapetti just fights it off and fouls it away. A ball and a strike. See that a little bit more here in this setup with the wood bats, a little more willingness to work inside for the pitchers, a little less danger in doing it, if you can get it fully inside and jam the hitters. Back to the outside corner for Aguiar, but he missed. 2 balls and a strike.
We have seen several broken bats here through the first 5 games of this tournament.
It should be Aguiar's last inning. See Wes Scott slated to be the next pitcher for the Pirates. Bad hop, and it gets by Turner and into center field, and then scoots away from Andrews. Everybody's going to advance. They're waving the runner. Cruz rounding third. He's going to come in and score. That's likely going to be a couple of errors on the play. Well, maybe it was a base hit. It was a bad hop on Turner right over his glove, and we'll get a look at the replay, but then Andrews had trouble with it in center field. I don't know. Taking a look at that one, I suspect Tyrese Turner would still tell you maybe he should have come up with that ball, but
Looked like maybe it hit right on the edge of the grass.
right on the seam there,
Yeah.
between the dirt and the grass, and it just hops over Turner's glove. But then Andrews moving over, and it gets by him, and Cruz alertly takes third, and they wave him all the way in. So we'll wait and see how they score that. But the Bucks are on the board as Rapetti ends up at second. And that should go down, I think, as a base hit and then an error. It looks like. So Rapetti at second, Pittman the batter, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Or I should say, no balls and a strike on Pittman. And a big swing and a miss, and Pittman in a hole now, no balls and 2 strikes. Well, between the difficulty handling the high pops here at San Manuel Stadium and a couple of bad bounces, it's been a stressful outing here for the pitchers so far. That one, Aguiar's got a bad bounce and an error on the same play behind him. No balls, 2 strikes on Pittman. Here's the pitch, back to the screen.
Right up, Corey.
And it was just that close to being something of an uneventful inning for Julian Aguiar, as he retired the first couple of batters and gets Pittman on strikes to retire the side, but the Bucks get on the board. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left on base through 2 complete. Pirates leading the Bucks 4-1 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. New pitcher for the Bucks, right-hander Christian Culpepper, and he will work to Jordan Koo, and then the top of the order, E.J. Andrews and Tyrese Turner. And here is Koo, Culpepper's first pitch. They jammed him right back toward the mound, and Culpepper quickly off the mound to retire Koo for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out for Culpepper. That'll bring up E.J. Andrews, strikeout victim his first time up. Andrews still looking for his first hit on the weekend. Finishing up his junior year at Fresno State. Swing and a miss. And Andrews down, no balls and a strike. Culpepper kicks and delivers, and a good fastball again, and a wave and a miss, and Andrews in a hole, no balls and 2 strikes. called strike 3. Andrews down on strikes. And Culpepper retires the first 2, and now he'll go to work on Tyrese Turner. Came all the way around his first time up. A double and an error. And he ends up with the first run for the Pirates of the game. Turner's still perfect on the weekend. 3 for 3 with a walk. Culpepper's first pitch inside a ball. Culpepper, the fastball, a swing and a miss. And a ball and a strike now on Turner. Well, this has to be a welcome sight for the Bucks. A struggle on the mound through the first 2 innings, but Culpepper looking at trying to complete a 1-2-3 inning. In the dirt, 2 balls and a strike to Turner.
Retired the first 2 hitters rather easily.
And Culpepper struggled somewhat at Cal Baptist this season in a shortened season with a record of 0-2 and ERA just under 9. In the short season, chopped on the right side, but Culpepper quickly off the mound, and he'll win the race to the bag to retire the side.
Showing some good athleticism, getting off that mound quickly and beating Turner down the line.
1, 2, 3, and we head to the bottom of the 3rd. The Pirates on top of the Bucks 4-1. The inaugural Best of the West tournament here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Sophomore right-hander Wes Scott takes over on the mound for the Pirates, and he'll work to the top of the order. It'll be Austin Shell, followed by Michael Marsh, Harrison Spahn in the bottom of the 3rd. The Pirates leading the Bucks 4-1. First pitch from Scott in there for a strike to Austin Shell, who walked his first time up. Scott ready. Here's the 0-1. Back to the screen. And Shell in a hole now, no balls and 2 strikes. And we look forward to, take your time, Dennis, but we look forward to, we have some trivia ready. I understand.
We'll bring it in
Expos
after this
trivia,
pitch.
So yes, it's
Bring it in after this pitch.
This is, listen, we got 9 innings here. We're in no hurry. Take your time. Back up the middle and through for a base hit for Shell. Perfectly placed as he gets it by Scott and ends up at first with a base hit.
Second time he's aboard here this evening.
Can't place it a whole lot better than that. So Shell at first. And that'll bring up Marsh, who also walked his first time up.
Gain up and then Iris down, I guess. Jets at a high gain. Ready, one, go one. Yeah, I think that'd be the way to go about it. Go two, go two.
And that one gets away from Burns, and Shell will easily take second.
Ready on three, go three.
So a runner in scoring position in the bottom of the third. 1-0 count on Michael Marsh.
Ready on one, go one. Next spot will be new batter. Ready on three, go three.
Low and away. 2 balls, no strikes on Marsh. Saw on the graphic that Wes Scott, currently playing for University of Arizona during the year, he misses away. 3 balls and no strikes on Marsh.
Yeah, you'll just have to play with that Iris no matter what we do, unfortunately.
Walked Marsh on 4 pitches.
You're clear on three.
2 on,
Take that shot.
nobody out. Bottom of the third, and the Bucks trying to claw their way back into this one. An opportunity here with Harrison Spahn coming to the plate. 2 on, nobody out.
Ready on four, free new batter.
Spahn popped out into something of an odd double play his first time up. Some trouble on the infield, but the ball drops.
Yeah,
But the Pirates able to turn it into an improbable double play.
We know Spahn has some power. With one swing, he could possibly make this just a one-run game.
Yeah, here's the problem. If you're Wes Scott, you struggling with control a little bit, you just walk Marsh on 4 pitches, but it's not exactly like you want to groove one here to Harrison Spahn.
Got a double and a triple through the first couple of games for the Bucks.
First pitch, Spahn swinging popped up on the right side, and it's Smith that will put it away for the out. Well, that is exactly what the doctor ordered if you're Wes Scott. 1 pitch, 1 out, and he gets the dangerous Harrison Spahn. That'll bring up Castillo. Grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. Scott ready.
Ready on four, go four.
Sidearm delivery, and he misses outside.
If you got it.
It's not coming up.
It's not coming up.
No, I'm hitting it. It's not coming up.
It's
A
green.
ball and no strikes on Castillo. Bijani waits on deck. Fouled back to the screen.
Ready four, go four. Left click on.
Maybe I accidentally right-clicked it.
Castillo, sophomore at Cal Baptist,
You got it.
a freshman All-American, voted by Collegiate Baseball last season. Misses inside, 2 balls and a strike.
Jeff, there's been 1 home run so far in the tournament through the first 5 games, and it is courtesy of Chad Castillo. A 2-run shot earlier today, and no doubt about it, to right field.
Wouldn't he like to repeat that feat?
Indeed.
Here's the 2-1 from Scott. A little low, 3 balls and a strike. Well, you always have to imagine with the somewhat sidearm delivery that you see from Wes Scott that he's going to be a little bit tougher on right-handers than left-handers generally, with the left-handed Castillo at the plate. See what he gets on the 3-1 pitch. Way inside.
I think that hit him.
So that'll load him up. Still only 1 out. And Eric Bijani coming to the plate, grounded out to third, his first time up. That was one of those tough spots to get hit there right near the ankle. But it looks like Castillo's okay. And here comes Bijani. High fastball and a swing and a miss from Bajani. No balls and a strike.
Jeff, the Bucks are coached by Chad Cordero. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He was an outstanding closer during his day. 2005, it was his best season. He won the Rolaids Relief Man Award. And from 05 to 07, he recorded 113 saves, second most in the National League, just behind Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman. So he spent some time with the Expos. I'll wait till after this pitch.
Here is the 0-2. Swing and a miss. And Bajani down on strikes on 3 pitches. And that is a huge out for Wes Scott, who's now just an out away from getting out of the jam here. Bases loaded now, 2 out. And Damon Keith coming to the plate. Well, this may be exactly the bat that you want up there if you're the Bucks. And Keith with a big opportunity here. First pitch. High fastball. Keith struck out his first time up. Scott ready. Kicks and deals, goes to the breaking ball in the dirt, and Keith out in front now, 2 balls and no strikes.
So the first trivia question to you is, what did Cordero do on September 29th, 2004 for the Expos? Give you some time.
All right. I'm going to need it. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss.
He was trying to tie it up right there, or actually take the lead with the bases loaded.
Yeah, he got the fastball on the 2-0 count, but gives Scott a lot of credit, just threw it by him. So 2 balls and a strike on Keith. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Inside, and a nice job by Burns, keeping that one in front of him.
Well, the runners will be on the move with the pitch, so you got to think anything into the gaps should score at least 2, perhaps 3.
All right, I have a guess on the question.
Wow.
I could be wrong.
You sure you're ready? Might want a little more time.
3-2. And fouled off, and we'll do it again. All right, I do also want to, for those that want to think about this themselves, I'm not going to.
Okay.
Get in there. We'll let everybody play here. But I have a thought, and it could be way off, but something that makes sense to me. Payoff pitch. There go the runners, and it's ball 4. And the Bucks played another one back to a 4-2 score. And you wonder, with the pitch count being the factor here, when does this inning end, and does it? And it will, right there. So the Bucks settle for 1, and through 3, they're back within 2. The Pirates leading it 4-2. You're watching the 2020 Best of the West Tournament on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Meanwhile, Smith lost the handle. Palella for 3. It's good! And Gusto now will rise up from the 5-meter line and score!
That's a terrific ball, and it's up. See if he does. Shot is up.
No!
Baker hits! But it's
Oh!
Kenny Moore! Whoa!
21, and now it's McCauley who can finish it out. And he gets the ace.
Wilson, here comes the rush. Wilson on the reception, another touchdown for Tariq Wilson. Pass centered up, great read by Unke, outside Cruz, tools it.
Looking for Larod down the near side, who's got it inside the 5. And that's victory number 48 without a loss. And
OTC, your champion in 2019.
let's do it. The end of a tough year, San Diego State, once again, the Hawks soaring over all they survey.
We have a new champion. It's Fullerton College and the Hornets here in 2019.
New pitcher Alex Schreier on the mound for the Bucks as we head to the top of the fourth, with the Pirates leading at 4-2. Jeff Stoynoff, Dennis Ackerman, Emery Johnson on the broadcast now. And Emery, welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me.
No balls and a strike on Hayden Winters leading it off. He'll be followed by Jackson Lyon and Cameron Guangarena. Trip through the heart of the order. 1-1 pitch from Schreier. Bouncing ball, and it's Spahn who will take it across for the out. Winters retired to start the top of the fourth.
It's amazing how well I can read my scorebook when there's so much substituting going on.
Well, just quickly getting back to the trivia question,
Okay.
I did hazard my guess in between innings, so I will put my official guess on before we eventually reveal the answer. But I went, well, let's repeat the question one time just so we're all refreshed for my wrong answer coming up. First pitch in there for a strike.
This took place on September 29th, 2004.
And my guess was it was the final save for the Expos in that franchise history.
Well, that is an outstanding guess, but not quite accurate. He threw the final pitch ever for the Expos at Olympic Stadium.
Oh! I can't quite say that's what I meant. I didn't know.
I think I might give you a half a point, though.
I was trying to go with the context there. I thought I was on the right path. A big swing and a miss for Lyon going after the high fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. And we did wonder with Chad Cordero if there was possibly some relation to former Major Leaguer Will Cordero. Also played, I believe, a few years earlier than that, if my memory is right. 3 balls and 2 strikes now the count on Lyon. But that's not so much a trivia question. That is just a little idle thought.
It is.
Very idle. Payoff pitch to Lyon.
It's good, Idle.
In the dirt. And the Pirates have a base runner with 1 down. Lyon on with a walk.
And there you go. You commit the first sin as a pitcher. Well,
not the full sin.
Not the full sin, but you walk a man with nobody on the bases, and so we'll see how that starts to pan out here. I mean, it's been amazing how the Pirates have continued to grind away every single inning. It seems like they're either on the cusp or ready to go up until last inning.
Yeah, first 2 innings, it was Pirates all over the base paths, and then Culpepper was outstanding in a 1-2-3 inning and a wild pitch for Schreier back to the screen, and Lyon will take second.
You know, I've never been in this position before, at least in my college career, where you have so much time in between actually pitching in a game and then pitching against batters, especially in front of all these scouts. I can only imagine it's a little nerve-wracking. He seems like he's choking it off a little bit. Well, we'll see if he can make that adjustment later on in this inning.
You know, Emery, so many pitchers here working to catchers that they don't normally work with, and we are seeing an awful lot of wild pitches. Does that surprise you as a pitcher?
I'm more or less. I'm. It's not necessarily the catchers. 90% of the time, when you're at this level of college baseball, you're dealing with catchers who have been there before, and there's usually a comfort level, at least with guys. If you're just stepping into a tournament style, very similar to this.
Well, then, Emery, let me counter that by asking you, how much does it impact with the long layoff? Because a lot of these kids have not played in an organized baseball game since mid-March.
Yeah, that would be the one eyebrow raiser there. where, you're used to whatever college team that you're playing with, the last guys that you're most likely playing with were your college team. So there is a little bit of possible miscommunication between these catchers and these pitchers. And again, I would emphasize the fact that these guys' arms are not as fresh necessarily. And it may sound weird, they just got off of a break. Why aren't they fresh? Well, you might be throwing bullpens, but there's a huge difference between the adrenaline that you get from in a game versus, throwing a bullpen on the side.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Juan Garena, with Lyon at second. Off speed just outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
I'm not sure how much it impacts the players. But no fans are allowed at this tournament. It's only agents and scouts who can attend. You can see a couple of them behind home plate.
It depends on the experience level. Usually for these guys, I can remember I actually
broken bat back to the mound. Sorry, guys, and Schreier.
That's okay.
Will look the runner back and retire Juan Garena for out number 2.
We've seen a few broken bats, haven't we, here this evening?
It's good. We can start a bonfire later.
It's a little warm for that.
Yeah, pitchers don't mind broken bats.
Oh no, it's a blessing actually.
Scary for Schreier, but terrific concentration. Incidentally, as scary as it sounds, that bat actually kind of went right by Schreier. Didn't miss him by a whole lot, but managed to come away with the ball and get Juan Garena for the second out, and that'll bring up Autino.
Yeah, what I was trying to say before was,
First pitch swinging this back to the box as well. Schreier doing most of it himself to throw in the dirt, though, and gets away from Rapetti at first, and on the play, Autino will be safe, and that'll bring up Connor, so another life for the Pirates on the throwing error.
Now we'll see. Oh, he got lazy. See, what you saw is when he picked up the baseball right there, he choked it off a little bit, and he just kind of went short with his arm throw, trying to just flip it over there. And when you're not doing that every single day, your pitcher's fielding practice, or PFPs as we call them, when you're not doing that on a day-to-day basis, you tend to make that little small mistake. And I think, given if these guys were practicing every single day for the last couple months, that might not have been the issue that was caused there.
Well, it's a fascinating mental side of the game sometimes for pitchers as well, where they can throw it to the plate, but sometimes the throw to first feels completely different. And sometimes maybe you need to remind yourself to really rear back and fire the ball and throw it normally. Sometimes you can try to guide it or steer it a little too much.
Case in point, John Lester, he cannot throw a pickoff throw to first base.
Yep.
I mean, it's basically just a lob every time.
Yeah, you see it sometimes happen as well. For second baseman, it's a common one, too.
Chuck Knobloch?
Yeah, Knobloch. I think Steve Sachs. Back in the day struggled for a brief period of time as well with that. And just fascinating. But you always think with pitchers, it's, maybe just try to make the pitch, but they're so used to throwing one way, and then it's a different kind of throw. And it looked like maybe for Schreier there, he kind of guided that one. Fouled away.
The best kept secret in the WSC Northern Division in junior college baseball in California during the 2017 season was that I was the worst at fielding PFPs when it came to throwing the ball to first base. And I luckily never came up against a team who wanted to exploit that with bunts.
2 balls and a strike on Connor. In the dirt, but blocked nicely by Shell.
Well, how much does it benefit the defense when you have a pitcher out there who can field very well? It's almost like having 5 infielders, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, and it limits a lot of things. When you play college ball, you get used to guys trying to play small ball when you're looking to find runs. That's always in play, and college coaches are always willing to play that kind of game when things are close. So absolutely, it's very helpful to have a pitcher who knows what he's doing out on the mound, and it can really put a lot of things at ease in terms of the defensive side of games.
Full count on Connor, who walked his first time up. Schreier ready. Here's the payoff pitch. Bouncing ball to second. Marsh will go to first to retire the side. Pirates put a couple on, but come away empty. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Pirates leading the Bucks 4-2. The inaugural Best of the West tournament here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the fourth. And Wes Scott back on the mound for the Pirates. He'll work to the bottom of the order. J.J. Cruz, Cameron Rapetti, Porter Pittman for the Bucks, trying to claw their way all the way back. They trailed it 4-0. They've got it down to a 4-2 deficit as Cruz steps in. A ball and no strikes. Cruz, a base hit his first time up. Here's the pitch. Fouled away. A ball and a strike on J.J. Cruz.
And this is the Bucks up at bat.
Cruz finishing up his freshman year at Cal State Fullerton.
Yep.
20 at-bats in his freshman season with 4 hits. In there for a strike for Scott, who's ahead now, a ball and 2 strikes.
Cruz and Rapetti's up next.
Gosh, that was
Cruz called
beautiful.
out on strikes.
Yeah. Man, what a great breaking ball in the outside corner. The nice thing about playing in this format here as well for tournaments, which is just short inning bullpen kind of work, is you can break out the entire arsenal and not have to worry about throwing anything early on, and that was a beautiful execution on that breaking ball there in that count.
And that'll bring up Cameron Rapetti, who had a base hit his first time up. That eventually brought around J.J. Cruz for the first run of the game for the Bucks. First pitch misses inside. It's the 1-0 to Rapetti, swing and a miss. And there's the story on Rapetti. He'll play in the field, but also get some work on the mound as well. One of the multi-way players for the Bucks. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Inside again, 3 balls and a strike on Rapetti. Saw quickly that Rapetti, another player playing for Cal State Fullerton, also finishing up his freshman season, and to the point of playing in different capacities, was 3 for 13 at the plate, but also had 6 innings on the mound in the shortened 2020 campaign. He's aboard here with a 1-out walk.
Yeah, a good portion of this Bucks roster is filled with Cal Baptist along with Cal State Fullerton players.
And here is Pittman. Struck out to end the second, his first time up. Rapetti with a short lead at first. Scott's pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. And there you see the book on Porter Pittman, freshman at New Mexico State. What do you think, Dennis? Another one maybe you can handle the heat? This
Headed to the whack, Las Cruces.
in this format. Jammed him. Right side, Smith will run it down for out number 2.
Replay.
Let's get a look at see the location there is, again, Scott trying to work inside.
Yeah, he jammed him right there. That was a good effective use of his fastball. You know, he's been kind of falling off a little bit. You saw that on his last at bat that he pitched into, and I think he's made a pretty good correction to come back inside on him and try to work that possibly 2-seam fastball. Looks like he's gripping in his glove. I can't tell exactly from here, but
So 2 down, a runner at first, and back to the top of the order with Shell, who takes a fastball low and inside. Shell still perfect on the night, a base hit and a walk in 2 trips. Scott will look Rapetti back.
Rapetti dancing around over there at first. Certainly caught his eye.
Bucks trying to chip away. Single runs in the second and third. After the Pirates jumped on him early. That one squirts away from Burns, but Rapetti not going anywhere. Count evened up at a ball and a strike. Scott ready from the belt. Inside, 2 balls and a strike on Shell. Outfield playing Shell just slightly to pull. And the 2-1 pitch, high chopper on the left side. McLeod got to hurry, guns it across in time to get Shell and retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. Through 4 complete, the Pirates lead the Bucks 4-2. You are watching the Best of the West tournament here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. First pitch to DeAndre Smith. And it gets a piece of him. So Smith hit by the pitch, leadoff man aboard for the Pirates here in the top of the 5th. So DeAndre Smith, good speed on the base paths. That'll bring up Connor Burns as Alex Schreier is back on the bump, working his 2nd inning for the OC Bucks. First pitcher to go more than an inning for the Bucks here in this one. And Schreier will work a 2nd inning, and he starts Burns off with a strike. So here is Burns. A double his first time up, as he drove it to the deepest part of the park, one hopping the wall in center field. He's in a hole now, no balls and 2 strikes. As Schreier gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Inside, and it gets away again from Shell, and Smith is going to easily take second base.
Crosses catcher up perhaps on this pitch.
Yet another wild pitch, and I'm sure that one low, maybe not all the way in the dirt, but all the way back to the screen. And with Smith's speed, fortunate for the Bucks that he only took 1 base. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Burns. Off speed, misses. So the count evened up, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Connor Burns. Smith dances away from second. Burns had it cut but fouls it away.
Burns played his high school baseball at Don Lugo. Out Chino. The junior at 349.
And then made his way to Long Beach State. 2-2 pitch. Again, Schreier tries the breaking ball and misses. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Connor Burns with McLeod waiting on deck. This was the part of the order that got things done in the 2nd inning to the tune of 2 runs, with Smith, Burns, and McLeod all reaching base. And again, Burns manages to stay alive.
Give Burns credit. He's fouling pitch after pitch off. Looking for something he can handle. Drive that run home from second base.
He'll see his 8th pitch of this at-bat right here. Smith leads away from second. Line drive, but playable for Castillo in right field for out number 1. Good contact for Burns again, but Castillo right there. And here is Sean McLeod, a base hit his first time up. McLeod quietly working on a perfect weekend so far, 2 for 2, and he's walked. Or he's been hit by a pitch twice, I should say. So he has reached in all 4 of his at-bats so far. First pitch from Schreier, misses low and away. 1 ball and no strikes.
See, McLeod headed to Long Beach State. He originally committed to St. Mary's.
And there goes Smith trying to steal third, and he will. It was going to be a bang-bang play, but Spahn couldn't quite come up with the throw from Shell. And Smith with the stolen base. Get a good look at it here. Coming right towards you. And I'll tell you, Spahn comes up with that one cleanly. They might have had Smith. But instead, it's a stolen base, and now another run for the Pirates just 90 feet away as McLeod takes a ball low and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Sean McLeod. The infield comes in at all 4 positions for the Bucks. That one well outside again. 3 balls and a strike. Well, Schreier in this situation does have the luxury of first base open. With Smith at third. Still only 1 out. 3-1 pitch. Outside a ball, and McLeod still perfect on the weekend. Reaches base again, this time a walk. So runners at the corners. 1 out. And a big opportunity for Josh Scheck to extend the lead for the Pirates. The infield moves back to about halfway. Looking for a double play ball. Off the bat of Scheck, first pitch from Schreier. Misses high for a ball. And there is Scheck, the junior at UC Irvine. On the inside corner for called strike 1. Scheck walked his first time up. Actually ending the second inning as the Pirates were still going when the pitch count ran out. Swing and a miss. And Scheck now down a ball and 2 strikes.
Previously played at Irvine Valley College. 4 years at Torrance High School.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Scheck as Schreier just missed.
His dad Thomas played at San Francisco State.
Line drive center field. Keith on the move, and he can't come up with it. This is going to score at least one. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. McLeod rounding third. He will score easily. Scheck digging for third, and he's in there with a stand-up triple.
Boy, Scheck hit it hard. He hit it on the nose.
This is Keith trying to track this one down and couldn't quite do it. And Scheck comes up big with runners on base. The 2-run triple, and the Pirates push the lead back out to 4 at 6-2. Jordan Koo will be the batter. Schreier ready. Fastball up and away for ball 1. Still only 1 out. As you get a look at Koo, currently playing at Orange Coast College. 2 balls and no strikes. Pirates coming off a championship last season in the 3C2A. Yet another one for an incredibly successful program in the California Community College system. A swing and a miss, 2 balls and a strike. Koo grounded back to the mound his first time up. As the Bucks have the infield back, they'll concede the run on a ground ball as count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jordan Koo.
Jeff, that gives us an opportunity to send our condolences, obviously, to John Altobelli and the Altobelli family. We're very close with them over the last several years, working with Orange Coast College in that program. And, obviously a terrible tragedy that happened earlier this year. And it's been a rough year, but, I'm just happy that we have baseball back and, something to build on. And Pirates look to defend next year.
Absolutely. As the top of the 5th comes to a close, the Pirates leading it 6-2 over the Bucks here at the 2020 Best of the West Tournament on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Junior right-hander Chandler Champlain, the new pitcher for the IV Pirates. And he will work to Michael Marsh, Harrison Spahn, and Chad Castillo here in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch, ground ball right side, easy play for Smith. Out number 1. So Champlain comes in and immediately retires Marsh. And that'll bring up Spahn. A quiet night at the plate. It's popped out twice.
Well, for everybody who's watching right now, you have an opportunity to watch us on the big screen on the YouTube app if you have an Apple TV or maybe a Roku. SoCal College Sports 1, and also streaming live on Facebook, via Future Events Group.
First pitch from Champlain in there for a strike to Spahn.
Up on 4. Won't be coming back to 3 here, going back to 1. 1.
Slow curve misses high. A ball and a strike on Spahn.
Sorry.
Saw on the graphic that Champlain currently playing for the Trojans at USC, a 38th round pick in the 2018 MLB draft in the Angels organization as he misses. Moves the count to 2 balls and a strike on Spahn. So for Champlain, swinging a drive deep left center, moving back, and it's off the wall. Andrews up with it for the Pirates, and the throw to third not in time. It's a triple for Harrison Spahn. Well, we've mentioned it a couple of times, but you're just not going to keep Spahn quiet at the plate for too long. And there you saw Champlain miss a little bit up in the zone, and Spahn didn't miss as he drove that one to deep left center. One hop the wall, and he ends up at third with a triple.
Well, he's got 3 hits this weekend, a couple of triples and a double. He's not getting cheated, my friend.
No, it's apparent when you watch Harrison Spahn hit the ball that he's got some power in the bat. Breaking ball in there for a strike to Castillo, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. So the Bucks looking to answer back after the Pirates put a 2-spot on the board in the top of the inning. The Pirates will play the infield back. They'll concede the run. That one inside, 2 balls and no strikes quickly on Castillo. Excuse me, check that. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Castillo with Spahn at third and 1 down. Swing and a miss. And Champlain just rocks back and goes for the high heater. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That is 2.
And Champlain, as we alluded to, very highly touted coming out of Santa Margarita High School. Fouls back to the screen. Strong-armed right-hander. He's got a ball and 2 strikes on Castillo. And here is Champlain from the stretch. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball. That is chopped, just fouled. So we'll do it again. Ball game here tonight, wrapping up weekend number 1 in the inaugural Best of the West tournament here from San Bernardino.
Bucks.
But they'll be back at it next Saturday. It's a 5-week tournament scheduled, finishing up on August 8th. Here's the pitch to Castillo and fouled away again. Eric Bajani waiting on deck.
You mentioned this is the first week, and I think the further along we go, the better baseball that we're going to see, as well as these kids get their timing back, they get back in the routine.
Yeah, absolutely. And you almost have the sense, and a little bit is the players themselves, as this one's lifted into left field. Autino moving over. He'll make the catch. That is plenty deep enough to bring home Spahn with the run. So the sacrifice fly for Castillo makes it a 6-3 game in favor of the Pirates. And Bajani coming to the plate with 2 down and the base is empty. We already have the sense a little bit that the players are settling in as the weekend goes along. Little more hitting tonight and across the day than we saw yesterday across the board as things continue to move along. You expect that the bats will catch up with the pitchers as the players get more into the groove. First pitch from Champlain misses high. A ball and no strikes.
That's it, right? You got it? It disappeared for some reason. I'm not sure.
And here is the pitch to Bajani. Champlain tries the curveball and misses. 2 balls and no strikes. And as we talked about before, the Pirates and the Bucks will be here for the duration. There will be some other teams coming in coming weekends as the tournament continues. Over near the stands and not able to come up with it is Hayden Winters. So Bajani's still alive with a count now of 2 balls and a strike. And we'll see teams from Santa Barbara coming in as well, and a little bit later on. Teams next week, I believe, coming in from Long Beach. So it will indeed be a Best of the West tournament here over the next few weeks. But the Pirates and the Bucks, Inland Valley and Orange County, they're going to be here for the duration, so you will get a good look at these teams. Here's the 2-1. Bajani swings and misses.
Yeah, our schedule next Saturday looks like this. Noon, it's the Signal Hill Oilers and the San Diego Waves, and then the Waves right back at it the next game against the Bucks. And then the OC Legends and Pirates cap things off.
Champlain a little bit low. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. The count on Bajani. Yeah, if I remember the conversation, it's a couple of teams from Long Beach.
Yeah, the Long Beach Legends, we'll see them for the first time on Sunday against the Bucks. That's a 1 o'clock start. And then the Waves and the Pirates.
Bajani with a 2-out walk. And the inning will continue.
And then once again, these two teams next Sunday night at 7 o'clock right back here.
have to be mindful of the pitch count in this format. They will control pitch count for all of the pitchers. But Champlain will work to another batter. It'll be Damon Keith, who struck out and walked in 2 trips. Bejani with a lead from first. Champlain working from the stretch. Fastball high.
And a reminder, we will be here next week for coverage of the late games on Saturday and Sunday.
Outside a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Now on Keith.
I think a lot of people deserve a lot of credit for pulling this tournament off. Such a fluid situation with the coronavirus pandemic.
On short notice, and a great job getting it together.
Absolutely.
And that is an all-time easier said than done situation. It's a lot of work by a lot of people to bring this together.
And to manage to find these many kids that want to play.
Here's the 2-1. Chop to short, and Turner will go to second to retire the side. Bucks answer back with a run on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base through 5 complete. It's the Pirates leading at 6-3. You're watching the 2020 Best of the West tournament here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. I'm going to have to give the old refrain, do not adjust your television set. That is Christian Lopez, who will be pitching for the Bucks this inning, a member of the Pirates. But with the shortage of pitchers for the undermanned Bucks squad, it is Lopez who will work this inning to his own team. He will become a member of the Bucks here for at least 1 inning. As this one is fouled away, he'll work to the top of the order. E.J. Andrews, Tyrese Turner, and Hayden Winters.
Just like ultimate quarterback, but ultimate pitcher.
We saw a player switch teams yesterday and again, but no no jersey change for Lopez. He'll go with the Reds. Andrews reaches out and bounces this one over to first, and they'll go to Lopez covering, and Andrews retired for the first out here in the 6th. So Lopez out of Century High School and pitched for a couple of years at Cypress College and is set to go to the University of Illinois at Chicago.
Century High School in Santa Ana?
Indeed.
That's my alma mater.
And then if he's heading to University of Illinois Chicago, he's heading to my neck of the woods. We got all kinds of personal relevance here. First pitch in there for a strike to Tyrese Turner. 1 for 2. A double back in the first. Grounded back to the mound in the 3rd. Lopez into the wind. Swing and a miss.
University of Illinois Chicago, where do they play their first 20 games on the road before they can finally get a home game in because of the weather?
The only college team that needs a dome.
Try to avoid those snow-outs, not rain-outs, but snow-outs.
No, listen, in the Chicago area, it's like, your early season games, 45 degrees. That's baseball weather, my friend. The 0-2 to Turner. And that one back to the screen. Ball and 2 strikes. Turner continues to put together an outstanding weekend. 3 for 4 with a walk. A couple of runs scored. 3 stolen bases. Lopez up on the rubber. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Foul away again. Tyrese Turner in shortened 2020 season at USC as a freshman, batting .257, appearing in 14 games, starting 10 of them. And it's only going to go on from there for this young man. Just gets a piece. Ball and 2 strikes to count. Hayden Winters waiting on deck.
That is a big jump from seeing high school pitching to the Pac-12.
Lopez with a long look, and now he's ready. The 1-2. Breaking ball, and again, Turner just gets a piece, and always seems like such a sign of maturity at the plate when you watch a player staying focused with 2 strikes and continuing the at-bat, fighting off some pitches, looking for one that they can handle. And to see it in such a young player, it's impressive. Right now, Turner able to foul off a couple of pitches from Lopez and stay alive. See if he can do it here in a 1-2. Bounce to first, and Rapetti will take it himself. So 2 up, 2 down for Lopez, and Winters coming to the plate. He's 0 for 1, hit by a pitch and grounded to third and 2 trips. Well, we said that Pirate pitchers have been impressive this weekend so far, and will we see a Pirate pitcher be impressive working against a Pirate lineup? Maybe the final way. Into right field, can of corn for Castillo, and he's got it to retire the side. So Lopez, a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th, will head to the bottom of the 6th inning. And the Pirates leading the Bucks 6-3, the inaugural Best of the West tournament from San Bernardino here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Right-hander Andrew Reitmeyer, Houston Baptist College, the new pitcher for the Pirates. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be J.J. Cruz, Cameron Repetti, and Porter Pittman due up for the Bucks, who trail it 6-3, and there is Cruz, 1 for 2. Singled and struck out in 2 trips. And the right-hander Reitmeyer ready. Here's the pitch. And the fastball down the middle for strike 1. Cruz fouls that one away. He's in a hole now, no balls and 2 strikes. Get a good look at Reitmeyer, who will work from the stretch with the bases empty. That one in the dirt. A ball and 2 strikes on Cruz. Reitmeyer coming off a stretch at Palomar College before moving on to Houston Baptist this last season. Ball too high. Count evened up. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cruz. Just 6 1/3 innings here in 2020 at Houston Baptist. For Reitmeyer, swing and a miss, and Cruz down on strikes to start the 6th.
Cruz way late on that swing. Couldn't catch up with it.
That'll bring up Repetti. Singled back in the 2nd. A walk in the 4th. And again, the fastball, and Repetti can't catch up. No balls and a strike. Reitmeyer tries the breaking ball. A ball and a strike on Repetti. Again, the outfield shading Repetti just slightly to pull. One from Reitmeyer, and it's back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm going to call this one here in our final game of the weekend something of a battle for the weekend. These 2 teams undefeated. Buccaneers 2-0. Victories yesterday and then earlier today, and the Pirates with the win last night against the Waves. So both teams battling to finish off the weekend undefeated. Repetti, a swing and a miss, and they'll throw him out at first. Back-to-back strikeouts for Reitmeyer here in the bottom of the 6th, and now he'll work to Porter Pittman, who's 0 for 2.
Yeah, the 4 teams that we've seen this week, I mean, these are clearly the 2 best teams, and then followed by the SoCal Hitmen, and then the San Diego Waves, who really struggled here this weekend.
I see the good movement on that breaking ball from Reitmeyer. And that was pretty nasty. And this one low to Pittman for ball 1. And there is a good look. Well, I say that. I guess I'm sort of stretching it to say that's a good look at Porter Pittman. He's pretty well covered up there. I'll tell you, with a look like that, covered up Porter Pittman, looks like he's ready to play ball in Chicago in the early season. That's about how you have to do it, I think, in the early parts of the season in the Midwest. He's way ahead now, 3 balls and no strikes. If Pittman can reach, Austin Shell would be next as the Bucks bat here in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a miss as Pittman tried to go for the high fastball, couldn't catch up.
At the green light on 3-0.
Well, in any count, that high fastball is hard to lay off of. That's called strike 2, and the count goes full on Porter Pittman. Reitmeyer ready. Here's the payoff. Missed it low and away. And a 2-out walk for Pittman. We'll keep it alive, and it'll bring up Austin Shell. Shell's 1 for 2. A single back in the third. He's also walked. Well, you talk about the difference here in the experience and perhaps in level of play here in the tournament so far. And Pirate pitchers, 15 strikeouts last night. But you look tonight, and it's a little different story. The Bucks, obviously, a little bit tougher to deal with. And just 5 strikeouts for the Pirate pitchers. A little bit tougher assignment, a more experienced ball club that they're working against here tonight, as it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Shell.
Yeah, both these rosters pretty much littered with Division I players.
0-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses away.
You look at the Waves, the San Diego Waves roster. That is filled with a lot of junior college players.
Yep. But again, you suspect that that's one of the ways in which these kinds of tournaments can be a benefit, a chance to get experience against different levels of play and develop players across the board here in California. A ball and 2 strikes.
You also got to figure, Jeff, I mean, the season for these kids was probably canceled a third of the way through.
Yep. There goes the runner. And Burns can't come up with it cleanly, and it's going to be an easy steal for Pittman. Meanwhile, the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Shell. And the Pirates trying to get something, I should say the Bucks trying to get something going with 2 outs here. Have a runner in scoring position. Here's the 2-2 to Shell. Swing and a miss, and Shell goes down on strikes to retire the side. Reitmeyer strikes out the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. Through 6 complete, the Pirates on top of the Bucks, 6-3 on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
That was a strange look.
It'll be Lyon, Guangarina, and Attino. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Pirates here in the 7th against Christian Lopez, who will work his second inning. First pitch, a fastball in there. Well, they called that just high, so a ball and no strikes. The count on Lyon. Lyon, no official at bat. He's walked twice. Lopez had a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th. And now he's ready. The 1-0. And that one a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Lyon. Looks like a steady diet of fastballs from Lopez so far, to good effect. He's down to the count, 2 balls and 1 strike to Lyon, though. Tails just inside, 3 balls and a strike on Lyon. And Lopez wanted to make the point after pitching at Cypress. He has actually gone on and began working at UIC, where he had an impressive campaign, which included a 6-inning shutout earlier this season against Army. Meanwhile, the count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Lyon. Payoff pitch, and the breaking ball got him. And Lopez shows a little different look to Lyon there. And the wave and a miss, and he continues to impress. 4 up, 4 down, as Cameron Guangarina will be the batter. Walked and grounded out in 2 trips.
I think he feels a little guilty. Mowing down his first 4 teammates.
And we mentioned last night in our coverage of Guangarina, sought-after prospect, and in fact drafted by the Blue Jays in 2018 in the MLB draft. That came in the 36th round. And you see this during our research. It's those that excel at the catcher position certainly draw a lot of attention. A prospect at that position is going to be highly touted, and Guangarina certainly fits that bill. Swing and a miss. Count evened up at a ball and a strike.
For Guangarina. Tell me when you're ready.
The 1-1 pitch in there for a strike on Guangarina.
Might have been looking for a different pitch.
And Lopez, one of the first pitchers that I've seen tonight, and ironically working against the Pirates, that reminds me of a couple of the Pirate pitchers last night, where there's a real poise in the pace. Seems very, very comfortable out there as he's working on the mound, and he gets the punch out there. As Guangarina goes down on strikes, but 5 up, 5 down. It's not simply the stuff that grabs your attention, but just his presence on the mound, and you really get a sense of the experience to go along with the good stuff that he has.
Well, I think he gets the baseball. He knows what he wants to throw. Not a lot of wasted time. Gets the sign into the motion, and he's taking care of the first 5 hitters he's faced so far.
And that'll bring up Attino, who has struck out and reached on an error. He swings through the fastball from Lopez. No balls and a strike on Matt Attino. Finishing up his junior year at Fresno State. That one jammed him back to the screen. And Attino in a hole now, no balls and 2 strikes. See if Lopez goes back to the breaking ball here. And he used a good effect to get Lyon. Swung on and missed. And Lopez, the 1-2-3 inning in the 6th was impressive, but how about striking out the side in the 7th? 6 in a row retired. And we will head to the bottom of the 7th with the Pirates leading the Bucks 6-3. It's the Best of the West tournament here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the 7th, Marsh, Spahn, and Castillo due up. And it's Andrew Reitmeyer back to work on the mound for the Pirates in the first pitch. A fastball in there for a strike to Michael Marsh. Marsh, a freshman this season at Cal Santa Barbara. And swings and misses. And he's in a hole now, no balls and 2 strikes. He's 0 for 1 tonight, grounded to second. And he has a couple of walks. Called strike 3. Reitmeyer gets the strikeout on Marsh to start the 7th. Well, how about this for confidence, Dennis? Evan Adolphus and Adam Christopher still slated to pitch tonight as Reitmeyer works here in the bottom of the 7th, which means that the Pirates are planning on the bottom of the 9th. And you got to like that confidence right there. They say, hey, listen, we're going the full 9 tonight. Of course we're going to be leading in the bottom of the 9th. Your inning's still coming. First pitch popped up behind second, and it's Turner who will take it for the out. Spahn retired. 2 down quickly, and Castillo coming to the plate. Well, I think you got to like the confidence from Charlie Reynoso and that Ivy Pirates dugout. So Castillo, 0 for 1. Does have a sacrifice fly. He's also been hit by a pitch in 3 trips. Breaking ball in there for a strike for Reitmeyer. And Castillo down, no balls, and a strike. Reitmeyer at the knees with a fastball, and he's ahead now, no balls and 2 strikes. And how about Reitmeyer? The mild hiccup with a walk to Pittman. But he's retired 5 of the 6 that he has faced, including 4 strikeouts. So this is a very impressive stretch. And it finishes with a strikeout of Castillo. 3 up, 3 down, 2 more strikeouts. Quick bottom of the 7th inning. We're through 7 complete. The Pirates with the 6-3 lead on the Bucks in the inaugural Best of the West tournament from San Bernardino here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Caden Connor, DeAndre Smith, and Connor Burns due up for the Pirates here in the top of the 8th. And quick look at Andrew Reitmeyer, who just finished up a couple of impressive innings on the mound for the Pirates.
Bottom half of the lineup for the Pirates has done a lot of damage here this evening.
Absolutely. Smith, Burns, McLeod really leading the way, along with Sheck, who had the big 2-run triple his last time up. And if the Pirates can get something going, a couple of those guys will make their way to the plate here, but getting something going against Christian Lopez is something altogether different right now. A ball and no strikes on Connor, who's 0 for 1. Grounded out and walked.
Yeah, Lopez retired the first 6 batters he's faced. And our beeping friend is back in the booth. Quickly as he comes, he leaves just as fast.
He'll be back. Here's the 1-0. Lifted to right, but playable for Castillo, who has it just in front of the track for out number 1.
When it first left his bat, I thought it might have a chance to leave the yard.
Well, I have to do my usual Hawk Harrelson imitation and say, oh, Caden just missed it. Just a little under it. And Castillo has it for out number 1. And here is DeAndre Smith. I don't do a lot of imitations, Dennis, but I've got a couple in the repertoire. And I'm holding on to them.
Please feel free to share. I'm excited to hear them.
A ball and no strikes on DeAndre Smith. I believe in the always leave them wanting more school. I'm going to step away right now.
No Harry Carey for us?
Check swing back to the box and an easy play for Lopez to retire Smith. 2 down quickly in the 8th, and Burns coming to the plate, who's 1 for 2, a double and a flyout. Mike, would you eat the moon if it was made out of spare ribs? It's a simple question. So 2 down, base is empty, and here's Burns. Lopez trying to make his way through the order. 8 up, 8 down. And he throws the fastball by Burns for strike 1. Lopez into the wind. Tried the corner. A ball and a strike. As you get a look at Connor Burns. There's the breaking ball and a swing and a miss from Burns, who's now down a ball and 2 strikes. Well, that's some pretty nasty stuff right there.
He almost had Burns on one knee.
See how he elects to work with the 1-2 pitch. Fastball way high. Burns ready, and here's the 2-2. Low and inside. Full count now on Connor Burns. The 3-2. Down he goes. 3 up, 3 down in the 8th. And we're through 7.5. And the Pirates maintain the 6-3 lead at the inaugural Best of the West tournament here from San Bernardino on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Eric Bajani, Damon Keith, and J.J. Cruz due up for the Bucks in the bottom of the 8th against new pitcher Adam Christopher for the Inland Valley Pirates. So Christopher into the line. First pitch to Bajani is outside a ball. Bajani's 0 for 2. Grounded out, struck out, and he's walked. Christopher ready. Again, tries that outside corner and misses. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Bajani.
It's getting late for the Bucks. Need to get some runners aboard.
That time, Christopher gets the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike on Bajani. Saw some offense early in the game, but we've settled down as the pitching has really taken over down the stretch. Lopez been impressive, switching sides and working for the Bucks against the Pirates here in the last few innings, but also the Buck pitchers have settled down nicely as well.
Jeff, you prefer low scoring?
Just misses.
You prefer low scoring games, or you like a lot of offense? Do you have a preference?
I'll tell you the truth about that. I'll tell you what I miss in baseball. Not so much low scoring and high scoring, but I miss the larger stadiums and speed as part of the game more. I've always enjoyed that. Ground ball on the right side, sliding stop by Smith, who goes to first to get Bajani. That was highway robbery right there. You get a look at this one. Well hit, but Smith with the nifty stop. And quickly to his feet to get Bajani by a step for out number 1.
So are you?
I mean, I grew up in the in that time, and I think that you and I aren't too far apart. But in that time where there were teams that were built around speed in bigger parks, the Royals, absolutely. The Cardinals, the Astros, these types of teams, and I miss that because that really seems to have gone away in favor of a game built more around power in the game today. But that's don't have much of a preference between low scoring, high scoring, but I do miss that that game built around speed a little bit. I'd like to see some teams still doing that.
I do agree with you. I remember one year the Houston Astros might have hit 50 home runs as a team and still won the division.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's just
how much
of.
success did the Royals and the Cardinals? If you had it helps if you have good pitching in any type of baseball. So it starts there. But those teams that were built around speed and defense, if they had the pitching to go with it, and they had the right type of ballpark, it clearly showed a lot of success. But I think it's interesting how sports always seem to evolve and change in terms of focus. As J.J. Cruz will be the batter. And I fear that type of baseball has gone away forever. As the breaking ball misses away.
We don't have too many larger parks. You could say Oracle Park, where the Giants play now up in San Francisco. That's one of the larger parks.
Yeah, Seattle
seems
to have been a pitcher's
Safeco.
park in the last
actually, it's not Safeco anymore.
In the last a few years, but it's interesting as there goes the runner. Hit and run line toward first, shoestring catch for Winters, and he will double up Keith to end the inning.
I didn't get that. Oh, he'll have it.
Heading to the ninth, 6-3. The Pirates leading the Bucks here at the Best of the West tournament. head to the ninth. McLeod, Sheck, and Koo due up against Christian Lopez, who is busy mowing his way through this Pirate lineup. 9 up and 9 down. McLeod working on a perfect weekend so far. 2 for 2. And he's walked and been hit by a pitch twice. Lopez ready. Here's the first pitch. High and inside. Is it?
Yeah, 18.
Okay. So that we'll call it a day for Lopez and get you
Against
the
his
new
own
pitcher.
team.
One ball and no strikes. McLeod swings and lifts this one to right. Castillo under it and has it for out number 1.
Finally retire him.
You know who this pitcher is? I'm sorry? Yeah, 18? Okay, thanks. Sheck will be the batter. Tripled his last time up. Scoring 2. And the fastball in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to count. Okay. Well, there we have it. The mystery is solved. The pitcher is Evan Adolphus, who was supposed to be next pitching for the Pirates against the Bucks, but instead he shifted around and now it's Adolphus working to the Pirates from the Pirates.
Summer League baseball.
We still have a pitcher. Christopher could still pitch in the ninth, so we'll wait and see. It's a ball and a strike meanwhile on Sheck as Evan Adolphus is on the mound. And the 1-1. Just high.
Sheck had that big 2-run triple back in the 5th inning.
A rope to right center. The 2-1 from Adolphus. On the outside. Well, I had it at 2-1, but evidently Sheck down on strike, so let's correct that quickly. And out number 2 as Adolphus gets the punch out. Well, the Pirate pitchers have really quelled the Pirate bats down the stretch here.
I think they've quelled everybody's bats.
The last few innings, as Koo will be the batter. Adolphus working on another perfect inning as he's retired the first 2. And he misses high with his first offering to Koo. Koo is 0 for 2. Still looking for his first hit on the weekend. Had a cut, but fouled it away.
Well, again, like to remind everybody, we will be here. Well, we're scheduled to be here next week, Saturday and Sunday for the late game. Go to futureeventsgroup.com for more info.
And again, fouled back, a ball and 2 strikes.
Player in the top of the 9th. Still a lot of scouts on hand for this one.
I guess
behind
the
home
point.
plate.
Talk about these teams. Awful lot of D1 players, an awful lot of players shown the ability to take it to the next level. And still some guys to look at here.
You know, Jeff,
who just gets a piece.
You and Dennis were, alluding to how great of a job everybody came together to make this event happen. And how about the collection of talent that's come to play and able to showcase here at the inaugural Best of the West Classic.
And it's just weekend number 1 of what we hope and expect to be 5 weekends of baseball. Called strike 3. Koo down on strikes to retire the side. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th with the Pirates leading the Bucks 6-3 at the inaugural Best of the West Classic here from San Bernardino. It'll be Cameron Rapetti, Porter Pittman, and then the top of the order, Austin Shell, as Adam Christopher will try to close it out for the Pirates here in the bottom of the ninth and wrap up weekend number 1 here at the inaugural Best of the West tournament.
Yeah, Jeff, we were talking before the last inning. I expect the baseball to get even better through the next few weeks.
Yeah, it's
and these kids just have not.
Everything would point to yes.
Yes.
Obviously, it's been such a strange season, unfortunately, for these young men. But getting back into it here, many of them, dealing with abbreviated seasons, very little baseball being played, and now back to it. And you can only expect that the increased reps here is going to serve them well, and we look forward to being able to see that here at the tournament as we watch. Sky high on the infield.
Let's see how this one's handled. There's been issues. Whoa, look out.
There you go. Well, a nice job. And that is not, it was McLeod, but it looks like there was a change, and it's Matt Autino moving back to third base. And that's a great job staying with it by Autino. And I think it's getting a little easier with the sun down, but Autino, that is just a regrettable spot to have to field a high pop-up as he's dealing with the mound as well. I'll tell you what that makes me think of, Dennis, is that in Houston, the ramp up in center field, and if a ball is hit in center field deep enough into the park, you actually have to run uphill.
Yeah, that was a Minute Maid. I think they got rid of that.
Yeah, they did get rid of it a few years ago, but you're right.
Not a center fielder in the world.
The flagpoles were on the playing field as well on that hill, which that's a complete head scratcher.
So Porter Pittman will be the batter.
Maybe it was an aesthetic choice.
Well, let's just.
I think almost without a doubt it was.
Wiser heads finally prevailed and removed it.
Pretty hard to imagine running uphill to field a long fly ball. Talked about putting together this tournament on short notice, and do want to pass along some thank yous to some people who've done some extraordinary work just in such a short period of time to put this together. Michelle Klauser, who has done such a great job really spearheading putting this together and doing so much work, and obviously being a point person for us on the broadcast as well, and helping us to get the information that we need. So couldn't be more thankful to Michelle for all the help. Charlie Reynoso, obviously, coaching the IV Pirates, but really helping to bring us in and wanting to make these games available to as many people as possible to watch, given the situation that we can't have people here in person watching the event just yet. Want to pass along thanks as well to Kevin Bowler, who was nice enough to stop by the booth as well and say hi to us, and it was good to see him, and our thanks to Kevin as well for his help.
Great group. Deserve a lot of credit for pulling this off.
And I know you don't want to hear it, but we want to thank you too, buddy.
Hey, it's my pleasure and an honor to be working with you gentlemen.
And, of course, the broadcast tonight, great job production-wise as well. Cameraman Corey Rubin, Jorge Zepeda, our thanks to them. Technical director, producer, color commentary, Emery Johnson. What did Emery not do? So Emery as well, and, of course, the broadcast tonight, produced and directed by Mike Zepeda. There goes Pittman, and the throw sails into center field. Pittman will stay at second with the stolen base.
Those shades of Jake Taylor in Major League in spring training.
We're going to give you some baseball. We're going to give you some movie references.
That's
trivia. We're going to give you trivia.
Hey, that's our go-to.
That's early. That's early, Jake Taylor.
Hey, look,
we'll see at the end of the tournament how the throws are down to second. If they continue with the Jake Taylor, they get better.
Well, hey,
just as Jake did.
You talked about the players getting better. Hopefully, as we acclimate to the heat, we'll get better as announcers. And, well, certainly me, and you guys have been doing a tremendous job, and thank you guys.
2 balls and no strikes. The count now on Shell, who is 1 for 3 in the game with a walk. As Christopher tries to close the door. Big cut from Shell, and he fouls it straight back. And again, look forward to next weekend and our continuing coverage. We will be here specifically at night, but Dennis, I don't want to speak for you, but I know you've been doing coverage of the games during the day as well.
Yeah, I'll have the first 2 next Saturday, and I'll join you gentlemen for the final broadcast. Both Saturday and Sunday I've got the first 2, and then be joining you guys Saturday night and Sunday night as well. Look forward to it.
There you have it. Dennis Ackerman has the longest weekend planned next weekend. Is that for those keeping score at home? That's the most hours right there in for a strike to Shell. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Did want to pass on another thank you, Matt Tyndall, head of the AV department here at San Manuel Stadium. He's been an incredible person to work with thus far in bringing you live coverage of the Best of the West baseball showcase here from San Bernardino.
Meanwhile, Shell works the walk. So 2 on, 1 out, and the Bucks bring the potential tying run to the plate here in the 9th inning.
I'm going to go out on a limb
Marsh
saying we're probably not going to get extras.
I got to believe that a tie is permissible here if they could do it in the NHL.
Now, how would that work in Vegas? Just draw no bet?
Unless one of the teams was favored by a run.
And, of course, informational purposes only.
Right. Well, of course, nobody bets on any of these things. No balls and a strike. The only thing we would wager on is the trivia. We couldn't wager on any of the actual baseball. Swing and a miss. As Christopher had Marsh out in front, and he's ahead now, no balls and 2 strikes.
A lot of entertainment purposes only.
And Christopher from the belt. Here is the 0-2, and it's up and in for ball 1. Bucks trying to get Harrison Spahn to the plate one more time. As Marsh reaches out and just gets a piece to stay alive. Spahn and Castillo, in the heart of the order, set to come up next if Marsh can stay out of the double play. Give the Bucks one more chance here in the bottom of the 9th. The Pirates leading at 6-3.
This could be the final hitter of the game. Irregardless, there's nobody on deck right now.
Yeah, well, just outside. It's true. Pitch count, of course, always a factor here in our format once again. And Christopher is working in his second inning and is working to the fourth batter here in the ninth. So every possibility that we're looking at the final at bat. Bouncing ball to short. It could be 2 anyway, and it's Turner who will handle it himself. 6-3, and that will end the inning and the ball game. Final score: Pirates 6, Bucks 3, as Inland Valley goes 2-0 on the weekend and takes the first matchup between these two teams here tonight. That'll wrap up our coverage. Thank you so much for joining us. For everybody here at SoCalCollegeSports.com, so long, everybody. We'll see you next week.